Well, as the title says, Forms, Soul, Sacrifice, and Spite. 4 S's. Why? Why not? There's no real reason for it. I just find it fun, because I did all except Spite last night, and it was fun. Easy? Well, I say easy. Easy health, hard damage, which is the point of Swarms. Playing as Rex. Though, I had a thought. Acrid would be perfect for this. That I feel like would be better as well. Nope, there's a Lucy here. In other news, there's a chance that my... Why is my... Okay, that is not the hardware light, or lighting in general that I told my computer to use. You, this one. I don't understand. All of you do that. Yes. I don't understand it. Working now? There we go. Anyway, Lucy's now gone. I feel like Acrid would be fun. Yeah, no, my computer is... Well, it's been odd for a while. Blue screens on startup, then turn it on again and it works. Today, it just turned off at startup, turn it on again and it worked. My theory is the graphics card, because it's said about memory issues, but I've done RAM tests and it's fine. The only... Well, I haven't physically swapped out RAM, but then it doesn't always blue screen. And also, more recently it said about trying to... Oh, that's... Spite is not going to be fun to deal with. Yeah, more recently, it said about... Rain. I should just kill, shouldn't it? Yeah. Did I not hear an item spawn? Apparently not. Yeah, as far as I can tell, the Soul Wisps don't actually run. Ooh. This is so much worse than what I did before. Yeah, as far as I can tell, the Soul Wisps will never drop anything. No, yeah, my current theory is memory, GPU memory. Because also, while opening a certain page on Chrome, it said about trying to write to a read-only area. My guess is that the graphics card is trying to order things incorrectly. I could be entirely wrong. Which I hope I'm not, because... Well, no, I hope I'm entirely wrong, and it's just Windows being Windows more than anything. There we go. Spite makes it so much more awkward. Ow. I know I heard an item drop somewhere, I think. No? Was I wrong about that? No, I know that the one amazing sets of items are the death explosion items. Run. There we go. Yeah, death explosion items with swarms is fun. I added Spite because when I was doing it last night, aside from obviously the army of wisps that come out, it's not actually that hard. Ooh. Ow. Yeah, aside from ooh, focus crystal, that is good. Yeah, aside from the wisps that come out early game, it's not really too hard, so by adding Spite, I thought I could make it a bit harder. Same as Razor Wire really helps. There we go, that's what I was looking for. That dropped something, what was that? That doesn't matter, I'm going for it anyway. Oh, the focus crystal. Very good. Now the Lunar Coin. That's another thing. It's actually surprisingly good for Lunar Coins. So, yeah, I guess if you want to farm Lunar Coins, do Swarms. That's a teleporter. But no, I want to look for drones. One, because attention splitting, and two... That's a scrapper, that's not a drone. There's a turret. Sure. Turrets also work. This game mode is pretty much the only time where I'll say turrets are good, because they work so well in deflecting enemy attention. Alright, nothing. And also adding in Spite makes taking out the Soul Wisps a lot harder. Well, at least as accurate. I don't know where they spawned. Ooh. I heard an item drop. There it is. Armor? Personal shield generator. Well, can't really complain. Health is health. yeah, at this stage in the game I'm not going to scrap. I missed. I missed again. Didn't miss that time. Crowbar, that'll help. Now what I want right now, more than anything... Not one... Actually, yes, that will help, but no, not that. This fight makes it so much harder to get to the stuff. At least the soul wisps despawn over time. That's another good point. Oh, there we go. Attack drone. But now I want either razor wire or a death explosion. Or ceremonial daggers. That'd be fun. Ah, that's a rock. Steel Queens. Stone Titans. I'm fine with that. Something dropped. Oh, another key. Sure. Yes. I need more defense in this. Especially compared to the one I did last night, because Rex made it quite... Well, not necessarily easy, but made it easier. Boop, boop. Something else dropped. There we go. Oh, and the other one. Perfect. That should make the swarms a lot easier to deal with. The only thing with ATGs in this, considering I just noticed it, do it, is if you kill an enemy, it will just go to the soul. Oh, and there's one over here too. Hooray! Oh, they can drop soul with. No, that is not. It's a Luna coin. Yeah, the only thing with ATGs is if the enemy dies that it spawns on, it'll probably just target the soul. Which I guess makes sense, because it is the next enemy. What is that? That's why I wanted the on-death explosions. That will help. I'd imagine pre-spawns have a much lower chance to drop things. To work with their much lower money. Actually, maybe it is time to remove this and make that. Ooh, yes. There we go. This is just 4 artifacts as well. It's great. And there they go. Now what I would like, well firstly, yeah, to do void fields. But if I'm going to do that, razor wire. But no, what I would like is missile drones. Because given the lower health, the missile drones should be very useful. So I see none. I say that, there's one. The only thing is, kills by those drones don't, yeah, the kills by these drones don't necessarily trigger... Oh yeah, the lag from these. I didn't even think about that when I came onto the stage. Because these enemies still lag for some reason. I don't know why their effects cause lag on my computer, but it does. Deal with them. I'm going to pay. I'm surprised that made it. That's a death mark. Too bad I don't want to get rid of any of my greens. I was trying to press R, but it was on cooldown. I do like the sound effects. Ooh. An infusion. That I know definitely works with the souls. But I did just see one of them. That'll be interesting. Ah, but I paid for the thingy. Okay, fine, I'll do this. Oh. Also. My edit. Yes. I don't necessarily care what goes into this. Ow. Oh, there's a lockbox. Yeah, 3 seems good. If I wanted to scrap, I could get a load of tougher times. That sounds like a very good idea. What's that? Bustling foot? No. Yeah, if I wanted to scrap, I could get a load of tougher times. I don't think there's a scrapper over here, so I'm going to have to go over here. I don't have half cooldown. There we go. I thought I could ignore them, and then the amount that were around me just kind of came into play. And then it was even more than I thought it was. Even after knowing it was more than I thought it was. I know what I just said, and what I said is correct. There it is. This is stupid in the best way. Because, yeah, like, I can kill them very easily right now, but they can kill me extremely easily if I'm not careful. I almost want to get rid of Monster Tooth, but I feel like it would actually be a bad idea. Because, yeah, I need to walk through death fields to get to the healing blobs, but they're healing blobs. Right now, that's what I need. But that can go in Scrapper, though. Ooh, a ukulele. That'll help. Yeah, this is stupid in one of the best ways. That was a lag spike. Anyway, time to leave. Have fun. I'm gonna go get some tougher times. Not that. This one. I thought I already had a tougher times. Apparently I didn't. Oh, 4 of them is still a decent number. Ah, oops. I thought I saw the scrap. Run. Razor wire, that and that. Perfect. I think it's boss time. This is also... Claydoon Striders, yeah. No, this is also a, mountain as well. Run. Except not for long, because then they'll just do the thing. Oh, that's a few of them dead. Okay, this works. What did I get? Double razor wire, perfect. Hit me. There is just so much stuff. Ooh, another ATG. I think I'm definitely going to go to the Shrine of Gold. Well, Gilded Coast. Now I kind of want to do that Death Mark. But on the other hand, I don't really care. I can understand the attractiveness of all artifacts on, and this is only with 4. There's still 8 more that I could turn on. Yeah, so now I have a choice between blue and yellow. I will go yellow. Because I kind of want to do Aurelionite, just to have Aurelionite in the boss fights to make it even more stupid. Because this is something special. It's also where Blight really shines, because the ability to kill with the poison is great. No, you pay attention to me. I don't have any of the bands yet. That's a good point. Funnily enough, point changed. There goes a lot of drones. I lost a lot of stuff. That's unfortunate. Ooh, another ATG though. Where are my drones? Because I kind of want them back. There's one. I heard 2 die. But I don't remember how many I had. I feel like I did have 2. Maybe I didn't have 2 healing drones. Maybe this is all I had. Because I know I had a gunner drone. That may have been number 4. Alright, not drone. I still have my gunner drone. I don't know. Either way. You, sir, get to die. Really, I should have opened with this because of how many crowbars I have, but oh well. It's not like it'll make much of a difference. It's dead. How much? 202. I don't actually have enough. But what I am going to do is... The chests... Yeah, the chests are still here. Unless I heard the strike drones die around the same time as my other drones died. Yeah, one of the few places with sacrifice on where you can still find chests. That's one. I believe there's one there, one over there. I didn't even notice I had red whip. That's another one. Even wider range. Good. Armor. Even better. I now resist many sasses. And I have a chance to crit. Perfect. Wow. Razor, what? How many razor wides do I have now? 3. Yeah, that makes sense. Hit me. I lost the drone again. I lost my gunner drone. Oh, I shouldn't have paid that. I need money for Aurelionite. I am dumb. So, I decided to try something stupid, and yeah. How are you? Well, I say try it. I tried it yesterday. I've added Spite this time, just because yesterday I wasn't streaming yesterday. I just did it off stream. But I added Spite because it was a little bit too easy. And yeah, Spite makes it more awkward. I'm good. So, 202 times 7. Yeah, I have enough. Where are they all? There's one here. Actually, no. I think it makes sense to do this order. And that. I know there's an item there. I'm not going to turn back because of the timer. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Aurelionites. Which are now dead. Yeah, I'm just gonna let the everything filter down. Ooh. That's it. 3. I don't know. Oh, it's Warhorn. I don't know which one would be better for this, because this would kill a lot of things, but then I already do that anyway. Strike drone. I think what I have right now is the better option. Oh yeah, I didn't go buy my drone back. Oh well. Grab it. Oh, I saw it, and then it didn't. Oops. Yeah, I want to get rid of that because I saw whatever the thingy was. I may get that, actually. There's money. Not money, speed. Speed, they're the same thing. Speed and money. Ooh, raw capacitor. That's a scrapper. I don't know. I feel like for this current mode, I still feel like this beats capacitor. Also, I'd just like to point out that I have 3 ATGs. And they were the first item I got. At least the earliest item I got, because I don't remember if I scrapped anything that I got before then. No, it was the first item I got. Well, there's free money. Though I don't have much of a way to heal it without getting close to enemies, so maybe I... Actually, it's just the memory. Oh yeah, I take damage for that, don't I? I'm faster than I think I am. Boop. But yeah, drone. I'm gonna look for drones again because drones are distractions and distractions are good. And money is just experience, which is also very good. Yeah, he gets to die. Yeah, capacitor I don't feel like would be too good for this because I've already got a boss killer. That's really nice anyway. I already deal with swarms. I'm acrid. That is what he does. That I'll go for. Mainly for bosses. Oh, and there's a scrapper right here. That's perfect. What else? What else don't I really care about? Crowbars could go in, and then I replace them for double damage rather than bonus damage. That's a good point. That's a very good point. What else? What else don't I care about? Focus Crystal, that can just go in. Yeah, if I get hit, they just die. It's great. Something just dropped. No. This would take me up to 7... Yeah, 7 of them. So... I think that's fine. And if I can, I'm going to try and go to... Yeah, if I can, I'm going to try and go to, the Bazaar Between Time. That can become one. Whee! Actually, no. I know what this can become. I'll keep that. I don't want to get rid of it. Just for the chance that maybe it might be useful. Hold on, is that... Oh no, that's capacitor, that's fine. So I do see a green I missed. Another top of dimes. Very good. Because I believe it's green. It is. Predatory instincts and now have a roughly 76%. Well, I say roughly. It is 76% chance to do crits. Stun grenade. Very good. Correction. 86. What is that? Fireworks. No. I thought... For some reason I thought this was a, what's it called? Did I just lose a drone? I don't think so. I think it was this. Whee! Backup magazine, that's what they're called. Yeah, for some reason I thought it was one of them. It was not. In that case then, I might make it into more glasses. Oop. Aw. Hey. Anyway. %96 chance. No, all I need is a scythe and I have full crit. Oh, it's here, good. Don't have to climb. Because I can get to the point where I just don't take damage anymore if I get one of them, which would be very useful. Anyway, time to move on. Imp Overlords. But there's 4 of them, for some reason. I guess I would have, given the timer, I probably would have fought 2 normally. It's just so much death, it's funny. I feel like it's really easy to become unkillable in this game mode. Attack speed up. Wake of vultures. That'll do. Yes. Yes. I'm fine with that. Yes. Greater wisps. Where are things to murder? There's one. Med kit. That's pretty decent. Armor. Okay. So they have defense against being set on fire. They don't have defense against razor wire though. I'm pretty sure razor wire and tougher times are actually an anti-synergy. The more block you have, the less razor wire goes off. Well, depending on what you see razor wire as. I see it as a form of attack. Only. Good. Yeah, they do poop out, wisps. Okay. Oh, okay. More scrap. Beetles! More armor, good. More of that, also good. Just death overall. Ooh. Not because of what it is, just because it's an item. Yeah, the game is definitely loud. I may want to turn down these effects. There we go. Maybe not that low. There we go. Okay, Nokama's opinion would be amazing right now. It'd be funny if it dropped. More scrap. More scrap. So I can genuinely just stand still. Question is, did it drop anything? Hey, maybe it didn't. That's kind of surprising. Yeah, I'm not going to make the same mistake as I made the last time I had Acrid, Visions of Heresy, and ATGs. I'm not going to take Purity. It may let you throw out more attacks, but the amount of damage you lose out on is actually surprisingly high. Solus probes. Okay, fine, you die. No, I definitely extra have 100%. Number 5. Well, attack number 5. Number 4. Death to you. Oh, that's useless to me. It doesn't even double the double damage, it's just crits, which I already do. So do I have any other items to pick up? Doesn't look like it. Also, wow, I went high. Okay, fine, you get to die. Well, now I get to see... Well, no, I'd rather just keep this. Oh, I thought it was a red, it was orange. You know, Nukahana's opinion in this game mode would be very interesting. Because it doesn't do high damage, it just does damage. Like, it's just a bit of damage. But given that the enemies have half health and there's twice as many, it means that you have more healing going on because of lifesteal and half the health target to reach. Speaking of more healing because of lifesteal. Yeah. I may actually turn down the music because it seems to be louder than I remember it being, but then that is also partly Void Fields, just as a whole. I don't even need Hellfire Tincture, I just need to let the probes hit me. I'm gonna shine it on anyway. There is just that much going on right now. Ooh, that was a... Okay. Okay, boys. Get me and die. Or just this bubble will disappear. Or you can just die. That works too. Decent attack speed, even without all of the other bonuses. What is that? Oh. What is... Nah. Whee! Red Whip. Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't even know that they were in the cell now. My hand was in the wrong place. I was pressing E trying to go backwards. Not E, D. The other one. I'm gonna turn this on again, why not? Yeah, it's a few items around. Oh. Well, I was saying I'm not really gaining health, but then it also doesn't help that... Oh, speaking of Nukana's opinion, I want it. Give it to me. Either in item drop form or as the reward. Either way, give it to me. I know that if I really wanted to, I could sit here and just farm without the enemies getting harder, but I'm not going to. But yeah, I am aware I could do that. What do I get? Head Stomper. Sure. I don't see any other items I missed. I don't think I missed any. Just money. And equipments, but I don't care about them. I want to say that the legendary chest is still here. Well, yeah, I want to say it's still here. I'm not 100% sure. I know the, Alloy okay, brain. Alloy worship unit is still there. So I'd imagine it is. Yes, game. Just launch me into space. Yes, it is. Hit me. Make me bleed. Well, that shows off how much I block. Five scrap. What were the options? That's energy drink. There was something else. What was that something else? I don't know. Yes. Can't afford it yet though, but I will soon. What is that? Whee! Only go down. Whee, no. I don't want to go for something like bleeds. There's an equipment drone. If they drop equipment, then maybe. Oh, or Brilliant Behemoth. That works. They're dead now. What about that on the equipment drone? I might actually. Just for the fun of it. Another wake of vultures. Longer timer, I think. Oh, that's true. I have a lockbox to find. Whee! Problem solved. Oh, found the lockbox. Sept on Daisy, sure. My drones do take a lot of damage at times. I feel like a lot of the old habits while playing don't really work anymore. Meh, sure. Just like all of the different item opinions from before the anniversary update. I feel like some of them have been changed enough to the point where they're actually decent. Well, like Lepton Daisy isn't actually terrible because of how it now applies its backup. That would have been good to put on the equipment drone. That's why I carried mine until I got Hellfire Tincture. But, on the other hand, big explodey death thing that I don't control anymore. Which also sounds pretty decent. Where? Oh, did it die? Anyway, I'm actually going to go in here now. If there's another equipment drone, then I guess sure. But if there's not, I don't care. And if there's... yeah, if there's a, yes. That's the answer to your question. I think that is sufficient. I decided to try 4 artifacts together. Last night I tried it with 3, all minus Spite. Spite is enemies die and explode into bombs. Fitting. But yeah, I added the bombs because Soul, Swarms, and Sacrifice together aren't too hard. Well, they are, but they're not. And then it turns out I've just gotten to the point where even the bombs don't really make it that hard anymore. Yeah. So yeah, I'm happy. Because this is stupid in the best way. Yes, Soul means that enemies make wisps after they die. These blue ones. I hear some enemy somewhere. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I heard something. But yeah, yeah, Soul means that sacrifice enemies drop items and there's no more chests. Swarms is double enemies, but each one of them has half the health, basically splitting each enemy in two. They do full damage, though, which is the trade-off. And which is the main reason why this could be considered difficult to a point. And yeah, Spite, which is why this is a thing. Though they aren't really much of a threat anymore. But yeah, how are you? Also, I have Wake of Vultures, which just means I just get the elite effects of whichever ones I kill for a time. Basically, the elite aspects, except good. Well, I say except good. It's one of the weaker reds. Hooray! There's a chance I may have to change my graphics card at some point, because current theories point to my graphics card being the reason for the random blue screens and turns off at startup, and then it works after that. Which is annoying. No, I'll keep Lepton Daisy, if only just for the chance of Nukahana's opinion, which I think would be the perfect way to round off this. Or Ceremonial Daggers. Or really anything. Oh yeah, and also the bit that you haven't seen yet, I also have Hellfire Tincture and Razor Wire with Perfect Life Seal, so I can't die. This is the exact same strategy as that speedrun you sent to me used. High damage Razor Wire with Hellfire Tincture. Set yourself on fire and everything around you just dies. It's also why Razor Wire is my favourite item in the game. But yeah. So I'm guessing that the monitor was worth the money. Anyway, boss time. Because this is still loop 1, I've just spent that long. Anyway, that was the boss. Yes, Aurelian Knight, I know I'm hurting you, but I'm on your side. You can't hurt me. That's not a red, is it? That's the backup again, isn't it? Yeah. Boop. Yeah, this is just stupid. But it's amazing because it's stupid. Yeah, that was going into what I was saying about my computer. I think graphics card is my current issue. Because I've done things like RAM tests and the RAM is fine. The only thing I haven't done is swapped out the sticks, but I don't have any of the other stereotypical RAM symptoms. But I don't think it is that. But yeah, no, I would also like a new graphics card. It would be very useful. But then I've had a thought. The reason that my PC has issues, not necessarily this time round, but just... Oh, I said it, but I don't know if you heard it because of this. There's a lot of sounds going on. Been for a while, sometimes while turning it on. So Lepton Daisy did nothing, it can go. It'll blue screen or turn off, then I turn it on again, and then it'll just work. It's not every time, and it's different when it happens. So it's either a Windows issue, or graphics card. And considering this is an eBay graphics card from last year or the year before, I wouldn't be surprised. Is that meat? Yes, it is. That was not where I was aiming. Oh yeah, and also, I have this much movement speed. I can just launch into space and then have to be forced back down. Whee! That feels so weak in comparison. One thing I will do, quickly. Thunderbird. Yeah. Also, something else you can do in this game, if I can find a slope. I have Wax Quail. Hold on. That's the wrong button. So there's an item here I missed. Come on. No, it's not doing the thing. I want to quail jump. Unless it's because of double jumps, which I don't think so. Come on. No. Do the thing. I know how to do it as well. Oh, there's a drone here. Do the thing. Either way, with Wax Quail, you can launch off of things. Like, literally straight up. Vertical. Kind of like that, but not quite. I never went... Oh, there's no chain. It won't be anything there. But yeah, you can... It's quail jumping, and it's amazing and overpowered, and half the time gets in the way. More than it actually helps. But yeah, yeah, that's why my current theory is Windows or graphics card, because nothing else seems to be wrong. And it only happens on startup. After that, it's perfectly fine. Yeah, no, in this game, the way that you work out whether or not there's something somewhere is there's usually, well, I say usually, sometimes stuff up here, where I just pinged, but there's no chain connecting it, so I know that that section isn't being used. Sky Meadow. I think the Magma Worm might know where I am. Actually, it might not. No, it doesn't. They don't know where I am, never mind. I thought that was a launch towards me. It wasn't. It was just... It's doing the thing enemies do in this game, where they jump if they don't know where you are. Anyway... That was far too far. Yeah, that's a boss. It died. That's a bigger threat than the boss. It's also dead. That's an even bigger threat than the one I just killed. It's also dead. Well, I say threat. It's not based on health, really. And this one hasn't even noticed where I am. I think it's dead. Because... Yeah. Hello. Goodbye. Oh, they're both here. Did I just lose a drone? I don't know. I turned down the sounds because it just became far too loud. But as a 57 leaf clover, now every positive effect has a chance to be re-rolled again if it fails, and every negative effect has a chance to be re-rolled if it happens. Or to be more specific, my luck has gone up by 1. That is what that means. The only thing that isn't really affected is yeah, the only thing that isn't really affected is block rate, but I have 8 tougher times, so I don't really care. That's very high. Well, kind of. It's not stupidly high, but it's high enough to be over 50% block rate. But then you can never get to 100%. No, you're not allowed. I found the teleporter. What time is it? Yeah, I'll do another loop. The one thing I'm not going to do is Twisted Scavenger. I say that if I get a yeah, I say that, but if I get Beads of Fealty, I will. Just for the challenge. Because from what I understand, if you do Twisted Scavengers with Artifact of Swarms, they aren't necessarily the same boss twice. You can get 2 different Scavengers. Which would be fine if not for how having one of them be a certain one is bad. So having 2 of them be 2 certain ones would be worse. because the Twisted Scavengers are actually surprisingly overpowered. Which makes sense given they're basically hidden bosses. Well, alternate final bosses. But given the amount of killing I do, I think I'd be fine. There it is. I felt like there might be one of these on the stage somewhere. I'm not going to bother doing artifacts. I could, but there's no point. Which is the good thing about Sacrifice. You don't have to worry about enemies and you leveling up differently, or what stage you go to for the most part. Because with Sacrifice, the enemies will just keep dropping items. Also, in stream news, last time I streamed, I got a €5 donation, which was nice. They asked why they couldn't subscribe, and I said because I'm not... I want to say partners when you can subscribe to people. But yeah. So they sent a donation instead, which was nice. Obviously, the conversion fees and everything made it lower on my end, but that's not on them. I almost scrapped the 57-leaf clover. That would have been very bad. Well, actually, no, it wouldn't have made a difference. How many? 14, okay. Well, given I have 57-leaf clover, 40% plus 40% of 60%, which would be 84% in total. Yeah, okay. I'll throw away 10 of those. Yeah, scrappers don't scrap all of the pile, they scrap 10 at a time. So now I have 12 white scrap. But I gave up some of my crit rate for it. But I have 57-leaf clover, so I don't care. Because crit's one of the things 57-leaf clover does do. Possibly one of the most important things it will do. Yep, there is the blue orb, definitely. So, what's the boss? Grandparents. Yeah, they're dead now. Anyway. Oh, and I got a planula. So now, as well as healing whenever I deal damage, I heal whenever I take damage. And considering I have armor, doing Hellfire Tincture will literally just heal me. I will from setting myself on fire, I will always heal more damage than it takes. What's that? That's a good question. What is that? Dang it, equipment drone. Are there even any equipments that are worth giving on the stage? What's that? Primordial Cube. Maybe. Yeah, it does 1 damage to me, but it gives me 15 and gives me 15 back. Oh, and I also have another Harvester Scythe. So that's 4. So that's, I think, 8 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. So 8 plus 12. 20 per hit. There's another item somewhere over here. Even more armor while sprinting. Akrid's waddle is funny. I guess the next stage of this would be to give the enemies the artifact of evolution, so they gain items as they go. Which would be interesting. So, I didn't make that. This stage is gigantic. I'm also nowhere near it now. Any others? What's that? Jadel, no. Ooh, what's that? Oh, that's a green. I want that. Fall off. Where am I? It was over here. Oh, equipment drone. There you go. In that case, then, wherever the green was, there. I will get the Jade Elephant, because if I can give one of them Jade Elephant, what it will basically do is turn them into a full-on decoy, where pretty much half the time they'll have a massive amount of defense. I wonder where my Health by Tincture is. That's my base attack speed. That's actually pretty good. I say base. That's with 6 soldier syringes. Yeah, I don't understand why brass contraptions melt when they die. That's been a thing for a while. It's like parts of their bodies are connected by a flat texture that isn't meant to do it, and it just stretches out when they die. Whale jump. Do the jump. No. Anyway. I've already done Void Fields. Over here. It's fealty. Over here. Another brilliant behemoth. No. It's only a range up on the explosion, it's not a damage up. I could get loads of ukuleles, but I don't care. That's a good question. I think the answer's no, because it will just get me killed, but that is a very good question. Because one-shot protection is useful. Actually, I have 57 leaf clover. There you go. I've given up my plus to luck by taking away 1 from luck, but that means I still have the base chances for everything. Which does mean I've just given up quite a bit of critical, but then I've also gained a lot of attack. And I still have my 13 scrap, so if I find a critical printer I can just do that. That's a malachite. You, sir, need to die. And I think I also have Leeching Seed anyway. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, New Khan's Opinion. That one I wanted. Yeah, it's just as broken as I expected. Also, healing doesn't necessarily matter when I kill overloadings, because with the way the overloading health bar works, because it's half shields, I don't know why they're generous with it, unless it's the only way they can get it to work. But going into it is a full heal, and coming out of it is a full heal. Yeah, I also heal myself when I set myself on fire. That's also a very good point. Me losing out on critical hits doesn't really make a difference. Also, I kill things fast enough without it anyway. Yeah, so now that I have a 57 leaf clover, I'm happy to take Purity. Without it, I wouldn't have taken it. Yeah. This is, not the hardest anymore. Ooh, good run. Even more healing in an area, though this one isn't going to be very useful. There is also meant to be a lockbox somewhere. Also, I don't take full damage because of Head Stomper. Yeah, Incinerator drones do a lot of damage, they just die very quickly too. Because they have very, very bad mobility. That was... okay. Yeah, Nukana's opinion is working just as expected. That's very good. I heal that much, it's just being thrown out. And because enemies have half health, it's going very well. The only thing is I now don't have Luna coins because I spent them all, but I don't care. This is for fun. Another Focus Crystal and another Topaz Brooch, meaning I just get loads of barrier. I hear stomps, which means that there's either going to be a boss or a scavenger down there. But given the sound of the stomps, I don't think it's a scavenger. Or it's just these. How many lockbox keys do I have? If any. Or have I gone through them all? I have 3. So yeah, there will be a lockbox somewhere on the stage, just have to actually find it. I thought it dropped a thing. It did not. Boop. That's a quail jump. There we go. Boop. That's what I was trying to do. And I did it by accident. Funnily enough, exactly as I said would happen. That is more like it. And then... slam. Because I have Head Stomper. That's what I was trying to do before. I might have not been doing it on the right kinds of angles. Hold on. Oh, there's a drone here. Boop. Yeah, it might have been the angle wasn't harsh enough. I say that, but these angles are quite bad for it anyway. They're too far. Oh no, I didn't have a leeching seed. Oh well, Gore's turn. More money. No, where is the lockbox? Because I haven't found it yet. Whee. Yeah, it's a weird side effect of Wax Quail. The emergency drone. Basically, Mark II healing drones. They heal more and more things at once. It doesn't really matter if I don't find the lockbox because I don't care. But on the other hand, it's a chance for a red, and I want it. Oh, there. I walked straight past that earlier. Yeah, that wasn't worth it. Oh no, Malachites. Oh no, they're dead. Was that an item? Yes, that's an item drop. Aye. If the items drop and fall off the stage, you don't get them. I think I just heard another drop. I did. Oh. Anyway. Whee! Time to move on to stage 7. Wandering Vagrants. That was this, not the stream. Yeah, Aurelianite may actually just be getting in the way now, because... well, not getting in the way, but not exactly useful. Now, what I was actually looking for when I went to the, yeah, when I went to the Bazaar Between Time was a Gesture of the Drowned. Because the reason I picked this up is because I now have... Nukana's opinion. Enemies will spawn. Is that... yeah, if I got one of these, foreign fruit, it would just spray out a whole load of green skulls. Though, that's just for fun, because in this instance... thingy... Hellfire Tincture is easily better. By far. Come on. There we go. I remember when that was the pinnacle about an hour and a half ago. Just press R and then things died. Now it's don't have to move and things just explode around you into death. Because they die and then kill even more things around them. Oops. Ah, the reason my double jump is useful. You can cancel them. Missiles! No. Hellfire Tincture is amazing. Whee! I'm surprised that isn't too high to be out of bounds. Did that? Okay. Anyway. Yeah, maybe just standing still isn't a good idea. Never mind. Death. The only way I'm gonna die on this is if I get killed in an instant. I'm just at that stage now. Yeah. If I don't get killed in an instant, I won't die. There's the lockbox. It's a red. It's another wake of vultures. I have 3 of them. Which isn't bad. Now I kind of wish I got that death mark from ages ago. Though I might have death mark already. I genuinely don't know. I'm not really paying attention to my items anymore. They don't matter past this point. I'm just paying attention to what I want to scrap. Really, I shouldn't be getting rid of healing things at all because of Akana's opinion. But on the other hand, I don't think that's a problem. There's another wax quail. Oh, good. No guillotine. My first one. I get rid of you. Let's use this preemptively because there will be something nearby. Get rid of you. I think I heard a drone die, but I also don't really care. Get rid of you. You really shouldn't be this careless while playing the game, but then I'm not exactly playing the game normally. Both in terms of playstyle and in terms of what I'm doing. Ooh, what's that? No. Yeah, there was a time a while ago where the bombs were actually a threat. Now they're just kind of also here. Because they're not a threat anymore. Well, to put it into perspective, I've stopped pressing left click. I'm using right click, just because single shot, and just letting Razor Wire do the rest. and the rest of the items in my chain. What is that? Tougher times? No. I already have 8. Or maybe I should, because I have 19 white scrap. Yeah, sure. I'll get up to 10. It is one of the best candidates for overuse. There's an item somewhere. Don't know where it is though. Around here. Yeah. Crap. It's stupid in the best way. I said that earlier, but it's still true. I'm literally just walking around. Oh, there's number 4. Attacks deal 12 times the damage that caused them. Well, missiles do. Time is it? 4 to 8. I'm just waddling around. I'm not really doing anything anymore. I'm also hungry, so I might go straight to the Twisted Scavenger and then stop because I want pizza. So in that case, it may be a good idea if I get a few more tougher times. I don't know how many I should go up to. Problem is, the more I do, the less I heal. But then, also the less damage I take in general. That's 15. Yeah, 15's good. So overall, it's not too bad. Hello, Imp Overlord. Did it miss? No, it's just not dealing too much damage. That's fair enough. Yeah, that could kill my... Okay, game. Trying to execute me. This is actually a threat. It's dead now. Don't do that near Void Reavers. I got launched into space and almost got caught in the instant death. I'm surprised that the Void Reavers haven't killed any of my drones yet. Oh, speaking of drones. I now have one of these. Because why not? I have 4 monster teeth. What is this? Sure. The rest of it can be sticky bombs. I want everything to be covered in bombs. How is me? Me is good. I'm just making sticky bombs because why not? I don't really have much else I care about for the scrap. I may do another loop actually, I don't know. On one hand I feel like going straight to on one hand I feel like going straight to the Twisted Scavengers, and on the other hand I feel like doing another loop. Yeah, how are you? Yeah, and as the title says, those are the 4 artifacts I'm using. They are very interesting. Not really difficult anymore, just interesting. Yeah, I have kind of made my block rate so high that Hellfire Tincture may not be the best item anymore, but oh well. I shall look for a lockbox now. And I don't have an extra life, which is one thing to remember. And it's a very good thing to remember, because last time I did this, last night, off stream, I did have an extra life from very early on. But then, given everything, I don't necessarily look like I need to be careful. I say that, and then I'll just die randomly. That's usually how it goes. Unless I've already found the lockbox on this stage, so I don't think I have. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't really remember. There is a chance I have, there's a chance I haven't. One item doesn't make much of a difference, even if it's a red. I still like it, though. Well, no, at this stage in the game, that's true. Earlier on, yeah, it would definitely make a difference. Well, even, there are a few items that would still make that much of a difference. Ceremonial Daggers is one of them. Where haven't I? Over here. I don't really have the massive amounts of scrap anymore, so there's no point, going for that. Boop. Oh, there it is. I'm not sure what I got stuck on, but it was something. 5 ukuleles? Okay. Anyway, time to move on. Oh, it was over here. I remembered right. Magma Worm. I just shot at the biggest thing next to me. It was just a Relianite. Yeah, that frame rate was my computer. Where's the worm going? Come back. Oh, there's 2 of them. 1 of them. None of them. Now open... Get the thing. There we go. I don't know what I want to do, because, yeah, on one hand, I want food. On the other hand... Well, it would still be a 2-hour stream. That's a decent amount of time. I think I will just go straight for it. Because the problem with doing something like this is that it only lasts a certain amount of time before it just all becomes the same, and it's getting to that point. But there is one thing I want to test while I'm in there, though. Whee! Not this. But that was a very good view of the guaranteed new altar. No, over... Where is it? Do I make it? No, but you can clearly see it. There is a second island as well. Just help me fall faster. There we go. Oh, actually, I probably could make that. Hold on. Where is it? Over there. Yeah, easy. I only just tapped the side, but I tapped it. That was because I messed up my first jump. I just, wait. Yeah, firstly, wait for, There we go. Yeah, that's much better. I may not even need the slam. Oh, no, I do. That's too far. That is not far enough. Either way, yeah, there's an Easter egg island and there's one above it and further back. That's even higher and bigger. So I was going for... Where am I? Here. Over that side. I was going for that one, but there's one over there where you can see it. Up there. I was going for that one. Anyway. I want to say there's a third island over to the right as well, but I'm not actually sure. Is there... No. Anyway. Also, this is where one of the this is where the artifact of glass code is. No, I do not want to go back. Yes, I would like to move on. There is a high chance I die. There they are. Gurigur the Lucky and... Oh no, they are both the same. Okay. Yeah, they are the ones I didn't want. Because they are the ones that also have Visions of Heresy. I might as well do this. But my movement speed seems to be high enough. Ow, they hit me. Alright, and they're still scavengers, so they still pick stuff up. You just healed. You die. Your turn. I don't care if you're healing, you die. Yeah, you need to keep your distance because they have Inside Death Plant sometimes. Well, with every scavenger that has Inside Death Plant, you have to keep your distance. Is it getting darker already? That's all of them. Now for Celebratory, I have no money. Whee! I am the firework. That wasn't getting darker, it was just tricks. That was easier than I expected. Fireworks. That was stupid, but it was funny. But yeah. I am gonna win there. Yeah, it's these four. Yeah, the one... I think it's this one. That's Vengeance. Where is Evolution? That one. That one would be a fun one to add next. I might just start doing artifact runs like this. Just slowly add more and more until I get to all Monsoon all artifacts on. Maybe not metamorphosis, but maybe. I don't know. The idea of changing between characters to me seems more annoying. I don't mind it. But yeah. Hooray. Pog. Oog. It's only to do that at some point as well. Actually, I think... Okay. That's interesting. Twitch on my laptop said you said bye. Twitch on the Twitch chat on thingy. Oh, and that's because it's frozen. That makes sense. The UI is frozen on Streamlabs. But yeah, I am actually going to end now, but yeah. Bye. I also forgot what I was going to say anyway, but yeah.